What's going on, everyone? So, earlier I made a video diving into two other teams that have now emerged as a potential suitor, actively trying to go get Cam Johnson, right? And that is the Orlando Magic and the Sacramento Kings. Not so much worried about Sacramento. It's like, what do they really have, like, player and contract-wise to go get Cam Johnson? And, Orlando's the team I would worry about because they have more than enough to pull off whatever they need to do. Also, the other concern is, I made the argument in the previous video. Do you kind of just let them duke it out for Cam Johnson and focus even harder on Jeremy Grant to where it's like, hey, if Orlando gets him, now that's basically, it might just be us. Sacramento, I don't even know how they already would have problems getting Cam Johnson. Are they going to be able to get Jeremy Grant too? And are they going to be willing to give up basically the last of their assets to go get Jeremy Grant, right? So there is that argument, there is that pivot, but one of the things that I kind of touched on just kind of popped into my head that I was like, oh, hey, what about this? That I want to elaborate more because I actually think it's a good idea is a potential 3-team between Orlando, the Lakers, and the Brooklyn Nets, right? So if Orlando wants Cam Johnson, and supposedly they still are interested in D'Angelo Russell, can you work something out to where let them go get Cam Johnson and D'Angelo Russell, right? So Cam Johnson, D'Lo go to Orlando, right? And can the Lakers come in and get like a Dorian Finney-Smith and a Wendell Carter Jr., right? That could be something to where now you got a 3-and-D wing, right? I would prefer Cam Johnson, don't get me wrong, but if you told me it's Cam Johnson or it's Wendell Carter Jr. and Dorian Finney-Smith, then I would do that all day. So if you can kind of work it out to where, hey, we're getting Dorian Finney-Smith from Brooklyn. Cam Johnson's going to Orlando. They're kind of, piecing in whatever they need to. Wendell Carter Jr.'s coming to the Lakers. Now you work out this 3-team deal where now you got Dorian Finney-Smith and Wendell Carter. I mean, that could be your 5, essentially, right? You could go Austin Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Wendell Carter Jr., or you could kind of mix and match it however you want to do that. I just think that would be a better position for the Lakers. Because, again, I like Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson would be great. There's injury concerns with Cam Johnson. Also, it's always been Cam Johnson and, from day one when I've talked about the potential of landing Cam Johnson, I'm like, yeah, Cam Johnson would make us better, but we need more than just Cam Johnson. If we just add Cam Johnson, we're not all of a sudden one of the top teams in the league. But now if you can get a Dorian Finney-Smith, who again is still a legit 3-and-D wing that can play the 2, 3, and even on some occasions the 4, got that versatility, got that switchability. I mean, you can run him and Jared Vanderbilt out there and just let them go crazy out on the perimeter defense. And but also now you get the and. So you get a Dorian Finney-Smith and you get a Wendell Carter Jr., so you're getting that center position and somebody that the Lakers have been linked to and interested in. So if you're the Lakers and you can kind of facilitate and help, kind of be, instead of being like the main, kind of be the third guy, right? Kind of be the middleman, right? Hey, we'll help you guys get in here. We want a couple pieces from each of you, right? Hey, let's work this out, right? So now maybe you're helping Orlando and facilitating a trade to where, hey, yeah, tell you what, well, you guys can keep Cam Johnson. Well, we're going to help you get Cam Johnson. You get Cam Johnson. We want Dorian Finney-Smith. We want, Wendell Carter Jr. Maybe you can get another little piece or something from one of these teams. You never really know, right? Kind of work something out. But point is could you essentially send out, say you get Dorian Finney-Smith and you get Wendell Carter Jr., right? That's what, off the top of my head, 26, call it $27 million to be safe, which is only $5 million more than what Cam Johnson is, right? So at that point, right, you're looking at, let's say the Lakers want to send out $30 million, right? Because you have to send out more, right? You have to send out more than you can take in, and on top of that, you also want to kind of clear spots and do so. Can you do something to where it's okay, D'Lo's going to Orlando, right? Maybe Rui is going to the Brooklyn Nets. Right, so now which also Brooklyn may be a lot more interested in taking on Rui because it's hey, you lost Dorian Finney-Smith and you're losing Cam Johnson. So we'll get you Rui Hachimura. So now you have that wing that can play the 4, right? And then, now you're not basically selling the farm and you're like, now we don't have any wing. So now you're in a position to where, okay, you got young piece, right? Orlando gets the 2 guys that they want, right? Boom, they get that. And then now, obviously whatever Orlando sends, whatever, but also the Lakers could bring in Wendell Carter Jr. And now they've brought in, like I said, let's call it 27, 28 million, somewhere in that ballpark. But they've sent out like 35 million, right? So now you've cleared that extra cap space. Send out, can you convince one of them to take 1 or 2, or maybe each of them take maybe one takes a Cam Reddish, maybe the other one takes maybe Brooklyn would be interested in Cam Reddish because they're getting off of Dorian Finney-Smith, and so maybe they'll take Reddish and Rui, and then maybe Orlando would take a Christian Wood along with D'Angelo Russell, and then also they get that, and then maybe you could pick up an extra piece, and then you still have a roster spot to where you can bring in, hey, we need a point guard now. Maybe you can bring in a Tyus Jones, right? And now you've cleared, like I said, you've cleared $5 to $6 million, which is enough for you to get in that taxpayer mid-level range. So now maybe you can bring in, like I said, maybe you can sign a Tyus Jones or something. So now you got a point guard that can fill into the gap. Now you got a 3-and-D guy. You got your center that can back up or start, play the 4, play the 5, go however you want about it, right? Like, so instead of fighting and duking it out, right? Like, can we all work together, right? Hey, Orlando, we're gonna tear each other apart trying to go get X player, Y player, whatever, right? Like, we're fine taking this guy if you work with us and bring us, hey, we want Wendell Carter, right? Let's work something out to where we can land Wendell Carter. You can get your guy in Cam Johnson. You can get your guy in D'Angelo Russell, right? You're the big winners. Guys, man, you get Cam Johnson and you get D'Angelo Russell, right? Like, come on, man. How would you not want to do that? And it's just like you kind of gas them up, right? Like, hey, come on. You get your starting 3-and-D wing. You get your starting playmaking point guard, right? Like, D'Lo's expiring, right? So you can either give him a new contract or you can just let him walk. Like, it's a win-win for you guys, right? Like, that's money in the bank. Let's go, baby. Kind of just, like I said, you kind of gaslight him up, right? And then get what you want, right? Because the Lakers have been interested in Dorian Finney-Smith. I mean, even this offseason, they've been interested in Cam Johnson and Dorian Finney-Smith. Not saying that they'd get both, but are willing to take on either. So if you can work it out to where, okay, you get that wing, you get that center, I think the Lakers are in great shape at that point. Right now, again, now you got a legit 2-way wing, and you also get a legit center. Yeah, it would be tough to lose Rui and D'Lo, but you're replacing them with a bigger need in a Wendell Carter Jr. and a legit 2-way guy in Dorian Finney-Smith. So now you basically solved 2 of your major flaws on this roster in perimeter defense and point of attack defense, and then also at the center position, getting that versatile big man that can defend out on the perimeter, that can defend around the rim. I mean, again, look at what Anthony Davis and Bam are doing, Team USA. Right now, obviously, Wendell Carter Jr. is not Bam, but he is one of the guys that are probably closest, and just the versatility, the size, the length, his ability to play both power forward or center, so you get that versatility, right? So, like, you can run him at times, like even with Jackson Hayes. Let's say Jackson Hayes comes in at the center position, right? Like, now you can do that. Kind of opens up some spots, right? I don't know how many picks and stuff you'd have to give up, but it shouldn't be a ton, right? Because you're helping them, Orlando, you frame it like you're helping them get Cam Johnson. I think most of the stuff would go to a team like Brooklyn. And it's like, hey, we're getting you the players and pieces that you need. Right? Now Rui makes more sense. You're actually getting a valuable piece. It's not just like, we're just taking on a guy to take on a guy. And so you get that. Maybe you throw in a first, because you're not getting Cam Johnson anymore. Getting Dorian Finney-Smith, you're getting Wendell Carter. Right? Orlando's the one that on paper is getting the biggest return. They're getting their starting point guard and they're getting their starting small forward, power forward, right? Like, so for them, they're the big winners, so they're probably giving up the most assets. Lakers come in, maybe give up, if you could basically give up a first in like a couple seconds or something and end up with Dorian Finney-Smith and Wendell Carter Jr., to me that's a no-brainer. I would do that all day. And now again, you have those, and you still have potential to make other moves. right? You still have Gabe Vincent. You still have Jared Vanderbilt, which I don't really want the Lakers to trade Jared Vanderbilt, but they're shopping him, right? So there's another, what is it, like 23 million or whatever it is in salary, 22 million in salary that you can ship out, and you still got picks and you can still go do things, right? Maybe you're looking to make another move, make another splash, right? Maybe you can go pick up, can you go maybe go get a Bruce Brown or something, right? Like, hey, we still got a first. Let's go really make a push here, right? Let's go maybe go get, you got Dorian Finney-Smith, you got Wendell Carter Jr., right? Let's go flip Gabe Vincent and whatever else and go get a Bruce Brown, right? Now you got Austin Reeves, Bruce Brown, Dorian Finney-Smith, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis with Wendell Carter. All right, like, sounds like a pretty good roster to me. Like I said, and you could still go bring in like a Tyus Jones if you wanted to. I don't know. I like the idea. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. Again, just kind of my thoughts. Like I said, I was just, talking in the previous video, and I was like, oh, hey, like maybe the Lakers could do something like this. And then I really was thinking about it. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. Like, that actually makes a lot of sense, right? Kind of solve multiple issues, kind of build up Orlando. It's a win-win for everybody. But you like the idea? Do you not? Somewhere in between, you kind of indifferent. Like, would you rather have Cam Johnson? I just think, like, again, if you told me we could get Cam Johnson or we could get Dorian Finney-Smith and Wendell Carter Jr. for maybe, like I said, maybe 2 seconds extra than what you would have to, I would rather have that. I'd rather have Wendell Carter Jr. and Dorian Finney-Smith. But do you feel the same way? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.